This is a world where money has no value. Time is everything. If you want to buy something, you have to pay with your own lifetime. Once people turn 25, they stop aging, but a one-year countdown starts on their arm. When it reaches 0, they die. The rich have so much time that they can live for hundreds or even thousands of years. They live in a separate city, enjoying a peaceful life. But in the ghetto, poor people work day and night just to earn enough time to survive. One of them is a young man named Will. He lives with his mother, and he has only 23 hours left on his clock. Today is his mother's 50th birthday. Will worked overtime the previous night to buy a bottle of champagne for her. She is happy and tells him, "I want to see my grandchildren. Why don't you date someone?" Will replies, "Who has time for that?" His mother tells him she has to pay the electricity bill and a bank loan by tomorrow. She only has 3 days left, and paying the bills will use almost all of it. She asks Will to wait for her at the bus stop tomorrow evening so she can take some time from him before her clock runs out. Will agrees. Before leaving, his mother transfers 30 minutes to Will so he can buy himself a good breakfast. Then they both leave for work. On the way, a little girl approaches Will and asks for some time. She gives him a capsule to store it in. Will smiles and transfers 5 minutes of his life to her. This shows that people can store their time in capsules and transfer it whenever they want. Will then reaches the factory. Before starting work, he goes to buy coffee, but he discovers that the price has doubled. Will reluctantly pays 4 minutes and starts working. After work, Will goes to a bar with his friend. His friend points at a strange man who is giving everyone free drinks. He tells Will that the man has an unbelievable amount of time. Will looks at him and sees that the man has 116 years left. Will immediately realizes that the man must be from Greenwich City because people in the ghetto usually have no more than a couple of days left.
Will walks up to the man and warns him, "You shouldn't be here. This place is dangerous. Thieves could kill you and steal all your time. You should leave immediately." But the man ignores Will and continues drinking. Just then, a gangster named Fortis enters the bar with his gang. Seeing them, everyone runs outside. They are the biggest gang in the city, known for stealing people's time by force. Will's friend grabs him and tries to take him away, but Will refuses. Instead, he hides in a corner and watches everything. Fortis has come to steal all the time from the rich man. He challenges him to a time fight similar to arm wrestling. The loser must give all his time to the winner. In this fight, both players grab each other's wrists. The person's wrist pushed down starts losing time, which gets transferred into the body of the person whose wrist is on top. The winner eventually takes all the loser's time and kills him. Fortis asks the rich man, "Are you ready?" The man replies, "I've had too much to drink. Give me some time to recover, then I'll accept your challenge." Fortis agrees and says, "Fine, I'll give you a few minutes to get ready." He sends one of his men with him to make sure he doesn't escape. The rich man goes into the bathroom and starts vomiting badly because he is extremely drunk. In this condition, he has almost no chance of beating Fortis. Just then, Will arrives. He knocks out Fortis's man and takes the rich man out of the bar. He brings him to a safe place. Will tells him, "I warned you that your life was in danger. Why were you wasting your time like that?" The man introduces himself as Henry and asks Will how old he is. Will says 28. Henry replies, "I'm 105 years old and I'm tired of living. I've experienced everything in my life. I don't need this life anymore. I don't want to live." Will is shocked and asks, "What are you talking about?" Henry says, "I don't think you understand the reality of this world yet." He asks Will, "Have you ever wondered why this world is divided into different time zones? Why can the prices and taxes in the ghetto be increased at any moment?" Henry reveals the truth. Inflation is deliberately increased to keep poor people dying, while the rich people in the Greenwich time zone continue to benefit from it. The entire system was created by the rich. Just think about it. They don't want poor people to have enough time, so they are forced to keep working for them. By constantly increasing prices, they force people to spend more and more of their time, while the rich keep collecting it and live almost forever. Henry says he has built his entire life on the deaths of poor people, and he doesn't want to live that kind of life anymore. After hearing this, Will realizes that Henry is actually a kind-hearted man. Henry asks Will, "If you had as much time as me, what would you do?" Will smiles and says, "First, I'd stop checking my clock all the time." At that moment, Will only has 18 hours left. He constantly checks his clock before sleeping, after waking up, and even while eating because he is always afraid that his time will run out. Will then tells Henry, "We should stay here tonight. By morning, the danger will be gone and you can return home." The two of them go to sleep. The next morning, Will sees that Henry is still sleeping. He quietly transfers all of his remaining time to Will, leaving only a few minutes for himself. Then Henry goes to a bridge and sits near the edge. When Will wakes up, Henry is gone. As usual, Will checks his clock and suddenly sees 116 years added to his life. He can't believe it. He thinks he is still dreaming. Then Will notices a message written on the window, "Don't waste my time." He realizes that Henry has given him all of his time. Just then, Will sees Henry sitting at the edge of a bridge in the distance. He runs toward him, but it is already too late. Henry has only a few seconds left. Moments later, his time reaches 0, and he falls from the bridge into the water. Will is devastated by Henry's death. Now Will has 116 years of time, but he knows that if he stays there, people will assume he killed Henry to steal his time. So Will quickly goes to his friend. His friend is shocked when he sees how much time Will has. He gives him 10 years as a gift for their friendship. His friend sincerely thanks him. Will tells him, "I can't stay here anymore. With this much time, anyone could kill me just to steal it. Now I can buy my mother a good house in Greenwich City and give her a safe life." Will says goodbye and leaves. He goes straight to the bus stop where his mother had told him she would meet him after paying the electricity bill and bank loan. Meanwhile, Will's mother finishes paying all the bills and gets on a bus to return home. But then she discovers that the ticket price has doubled in just one day. It used to cost 1 hour, but now it costs 2 hours. Will's mother is terrified because she has only 1.5 hours left. She begs the bus driver, "My son will give me the remaining time at the next stop." But the driver refuses and says, "If you don't have enough time, then walk."
But Will's mother knew that the next bus stop was very far away. Even if she walked, it would take her 2 hours to reach it. There were many passengers on the bus. Will's mother begged them for help, but no one was willing to give her any time. The bus finally left. Rachel had very little time left, so she started running toward home. Meanwhile, Will was waiting for his mother at the bus stop with a bouquet of flowers. He wanted to celebrate her birthday with her. When the bus arrived, many passengers got off, but Rachel wasn't among them. Will became worried and immediately realized that his mother must be in trouble. He ran off to find her. Meanwhile, Rachel had only a few minutes left. She knocked on car windows and people's doors, begging them to lend her some time, but no one helped. After running for a while, Will finally saw his mother in the distance. Seeing her running, Will immediately understood that she was almost out of time. He stretched out his hand and ran toward her. Rachel had only 10 seconds left. She also ran toward Will as fast as she could. But the moment Rachel reached her son, her time ran out and she died. Will was devastated. He had planned so much for his mother, and now she was gone. He screamed and cried in pain. By the next morning, the timekeepers had found Henry's body. Timekeepers were basically the police of this world. Their job was to investigate crimes and maintain order. Officer Raymond carefully examined the area, but found no clues. Then, he noticed a CCTV camera near the bridge and went to the CCTV room to check the footage. Meanwhile, Will realized that the rich people of Greenwich were responsible for his mother's death. They had created a system where people in the ghetto were forced to live second by second. Now, Will decides to take revenge and heads toward Greenwich City, and this is where the real story begins. To enter Greenwich City, Will has to spend 1 year of his time. He finally enters the city. When he sees how the rich live, he is completely shocked. People here have so much time that they have almost forgotten what it means to die. Even the bodyguards of the rich have more than 100 years on their clocks. Will becomes furious because back in his city, people barely had 24 hours to survive. Will checks into an expensive hotel. While eating, a beautiful young woman notices him and seems instantly interested in him.
Meanwhile, Raymond is watching the CCTV footage from the time of Henry's death. Suddenly, he sees Will in the footage. The camera didn't record Henry falling from the bridge, but it clearly showed Will standing near the bridge. This makes Raymond suspicious. He orders his team to investigate Will. The timekeepers soon discover that a man named Will spent a huge amount of time to enter Greenwich City. Raymond becomes convinced that Will must have killed Henry and stolen his time. He immediately heads to Greenwich with his team. Meanwhile, Will enters a casino where several rich people are playing poker. When they see a newcomer, they laugh at him. But Will is an excellent gambler, and he sees this as the perfect chance to take time from the rich. Will sits down for a poker game against a wealthy man named Philip. Philip is one of the richest men in the city. He even owns a private time bank that lends time to people. His daughter, Sylvia, is sitting beside him. She's the same woman who was watching Will earlier. The game begins, and Will puts all his remaining time on the line. Using his intelligence and gambling skills, Will manages to win 1,100 years from Philip. Sylvia is extremely impressed by Will and invites him to a party at her house the next evening. The next day, Will arrives at the party in a brand new car. During the party, Will and Sylvia dance together, and Sylvia starts falling for him. She is just about to confess her feelings when suddenly Raymond arrives with his team and arrests Will. Believing that Will is a murderer, Sylvia becomes angry with him.
Raymond first takes all of Will's time and leaves him with only 2 hours. Then he arrests Will for Henry's murder. Raymond asks, "Why did you kill Henry?" Will replies, "I didn't kill him. Henry didn't want to live anymore. He gave me 116 years and then took his own life." But Raymond doesn't believe him. Will realizes that Raymond plans to frame him for Henry's murder and keep him in prison for life. So when he gets the chance, Will attacks Raymond's men and escapes. He grabs one of their guns and takes Sylvia hostage. Using Sylvia as a shield, Will escapes and manages to return to the ghetto while avoiding Raymond and his men. But Will is running out of time. He asks Sylvia to give him some, but she refuses to give him even a second because she still believes he killed Henry. Will drives faster toward the ghetto, hoping to borrow some time once he gets there. But in his hurry, he fails to notice a barbed wire trap across the road. The car crashes through it and falls off a bridge. Both Will and Sylvia lose consciousness. The trap was actually set by Fortis and his gang. Fortis notices that Sylvia has 10 years on her clock, so he steals all of her time and leaves. Soon, Will and Sylvia regain consciousness. Sylvia checks her clock and is horrified to see that she has only 30 minutes left. Will also has just a few minutes remaining. Even then, Will gives some of his remaining time to Sylvia so that they both have enough time to survive. They quickly go to the house of Will's friend, the same friend he had given 10 years to. When his friend's wife opens the door and sees Will, she angrily says, "Those 10 years you gave my husband killed him. He wasted all of it on alcohol and drank himself to death." Will becomes devastated after hearing this, but they don't have much time left either. If they don't find more time soon, they will both die. Then Will notices Sylvia's diamond earrings. They sell the earrings and get 2 days of time. After that, Will takes Sylvia to a phone booth and calls her father, Philip. He tells Philip that Sylvia is still alive. Raymond is also with Philip, and Will knows it. Will demands 10,000 years of time in exchange for Sylvia's release. He orders Philip to distribute the time through the time bank to poor people and gives him until the next morning. For Philip, 10,000 years is nothing, but he refuses to give the poor any time. Meanwhile, Will takes Sylvia to his home, where they wait for morning. Sylvia asks Will where his family is. Will tells her that his mother died the previous night because she ran out of time. Sylvia feels terrible after hearing this. She finally realizes how poor people live in constant fear of death and how hard they have to work just to earn a single day of life. The next morning, as soon as the bank opens, Will and Sylvia watch it from a window, but the bank never distributes the time to the poor. Sylvia is heartbroken. She realizes that to her father, even his own daughter is less important than time. Now, Sylvia finally understands the truth. Her father isn't just a businessman. He is one of the people controlling the entire system, building his fortune from the deaths of the poor. Seeing Sylvia so upset, Will decides to send her back home.
He takes her to a phone booth and asks her to call her father for help. Will also gives Sylvia a weapon so she can protect herself. While Sylvia is talking to her father, Raymond secretly arrives and points his gun at Will. Just as Raymond is about to shoot, Sylvia notices him and panics. She shoots Raymond. Will rushes over to him, but the bullet only grazed Raymond's hand. He is bleeding badly. Will checks Raymond's clock and sees that he has only 2 hours left. Timekeepers only receive 1 day of time as their daily salary, so Raymond doesn't have much time. Will realizes Raymond will probably bleed to death before his team arrives, so he transfers his 2 hours to Raymond, takes Raymond's car, and drives away. After shooting Raymond, Sylvia is now also wanted for a crime. Will tells her that she can still leave all of this behind, but Sylvia realizes that her life in Greenwich was like living in a cage. Her father, Philip, had placed countless restrictions on her. Here, for the first time, she feels truly free. She also realizes that the poor are being treated unfairly. Now she decides to join Will and fight for them. Together, Will and Sylvia begin robbing the rich. Since Sylvia knows Greenwich City inside and out, they come up with a plan to steal time capsules from banks and distribute them among the poor. They first rob several banks owned by Sylvia's father, Philip, because he built his fortune by collecting time from the poor. They fill bags with time capsules from the vaults and escape, then distribute the stolen time among poor people. After these major robberies, the government becomes desperate to catch them. A 10-year reward is placed on their heads. As soon as Fortis hears the news, he starts hunting them like a bloodhound. But Will and Sylvia change their hideout every day, making them almost impossible to catch. One day, they hide inside a hotel. Since they have plenty of time, they simply book the entire hotel. Fortis eventually arrives outside the hotel looking for them. He grabs several people and asks them where Will and Sylvia are hiding. But these people are loyal to Will and Sylvia. They would rather die than reveal their location. Fortis tortures them until one man finally breaks down out of fear and tells him about the hotel. Fortis immediately arrives with his gang and captures Will and Sylvia. Now escaping seems impossible. Fortis forces Will to sit at a table and challenges him to a time fight. Will realizes that if he refuses, Fortis will kill them both.
Will realizes that if he refuses the challenge, Fortis's men will kill him, so he decides to fight. Fortis and Will grab each other's wrists and the deadly time fight begins. Fortis is an expert fighter. He pushes Will's hand down immediately, causing Will's time to transfer rapidly into Fortis. But Will barely fights back. It looks like he is deliberately letting Fortis win. Then, when Will has only 3 or 4 seconds left, he suddenly shows his real strength and slams Fortis's hand down. Fortis is shocked. He uses all his strength to lift his hand, but Will is far too strong. Fortis's men notice their boss's clock. His time is almost gone. Will takes the opportunity to pull a gun from his shoe and shoots Fortis's men before they can kill him. Fortis's clock finally reaches 0 and he dies. Will and Sylvia quickly escape, but they soon discover that the rich have changed the rules again. All the time Will and Sylvia distributed among the poor has become almost worthless because the rich have increased inflation several times over. Will feels defeated. He tells Sylvia it's over. Even if we give these people 1,000 years, the rich will simply increase prices again. Nothing will ever change. Sylvia replies, there has to be another way. Will says we would need to steal millions of years and give them to the poor. Only then can we control inflation. It seems impossible, but Sylvia already has a plan. The next morning, Philip arrives at his office with his bodyguards. Sylvia suddenly walks in and tells her father that she wants to surrender. The guards immediately point their guns at her, but Will has secretly hidden among the guards and suddenly appears behind Philip. He puts a gun to Philip's head and forces him to open his private vault. Will and Sylvia steal a time capsule containing 1 million years. Every single year inside that capsule was collected from the deaths of poor people. Will and Sylvia escape with the capsule. Meanwhile, Raymond learns what happened and immediately goes after them. When he checks his clock, he has less than 1 hour left. He calls headquarters and asks them to send his salary capsule because he's running out of time.
But before he can transfer the time into his body, he spots Will's car. Raymond follows them without taking the time from the capsule because he can't afford to lose them. If the poor get those 1 million years, everyone in the ghetto could potentially live forever, destroying the entire system created by the rich. Raymond gives everything he has to catch them, but Will and Sylvia manage to escape. They finally reach the ghetto and hand the time capsule to a little girl. They know Raymond will follow them straight into the ghetto. So Will and Sylvia leave the area and head to a deserted place. Meanwhile, they have already distributed millions of years of time among the people of the ghetto, making them practically immortal. But unfortunately, Will and Sylvia have very little time left themselves. Just then, Raymond catches up with them. Raymond threatens Will and says, "If you want to live, give me back all the stolen time." Will shows him his clock. He and Sylvia have only a few minutes left. Will says, "Did you forget? When you were dying, I gave you some of my time. You should be the one giving it back to me." Raymond suddenly remembers that he was so focused on catching them that he completely forgot about his own time. He checks his clock and sees that he has only 5 seconds left. The countdown quickly reaches 0 and Raymond dies. Will and Sylvia have escaped Raymond, but they also have only 1 minute each left. There's no one around to help them in the deserted area. They can see that their deaths are coming. They sadly hug each other. Then Will notices Raymond's car nearby. He runs to the car and transfers Raymond's salary time into his own body. Then he runs back towards Sylvia to give her some time. Sylvia also runs toward Will, but she has only a few seconds left. It reminds Will of the moment he lost his mother. He couldn't save his mother, but this time he refuses to lose Sylvia. Will gets very close to her, but Sylvia suddenly collapses into his arms. Luckily, Will grabs her hand just in time and saves her life. Thanks to Will and Sylvia, everyone in the ghetto now has enough time to live forever. They no longer have to work in factories just to earn a few hours of life. Now they can finally chase their dreams, and thousands of people begin heading toward Greenwich City. The system created by the rich completely collapses, and with that, the story comes to an end.